know, I wish that I could tell you how blessed we are. This came to me in the mail a few weeks ago at the office. This is my high school class ring. You say, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, when I graduated from high school 50 years ago, my father wouldn't buy me a class ring, and it was just so heartbreaking to me and so embarrassing to me because all the kids are showing each other their class rings and I didn't get one. He wouldn't let me have school pictures. He wouldn't buy me a graduation dress. And here this ring comes 50 years after I graduate, no name on it. Don't know how anybody even found out where I went to school. They had to know my first name, which is Pauline, and my maiden name. So they had somebody, God had to use somebody to do a whole lot of digging, and somebody went to the trouble to have me a class ring made. But you know what? This ain't about somebody. You know what God said to me? After 50 years, I'm still bringing restoration in your life. Woohoo! Got me another memorial. I'm going to put it in my box. Chris Kane said to me at lunch today, she said, you don't know what I'd give to get a hold of that box. You know what? God is no respecter of persons. And what he does for one person, he will definitely do for another. And there are so many little things in our life that we think are coincidence, that are God ordained. And I want us to start seeing those things, and I want us to make a big deal out of them. Instead of making a big deal out of every little problem or every little inconvenience we have, let's make a big deal out of all the stuff that God does, even though it's little. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. These things happen to you all the time. We are so led by the Spirit, and we are so unaware of it. We think, oh, how odd that I thought of that. Wow, what a coincidence. Isn't that unusual? No. It's God right smack dab in the middle of your life. And you got to have a little country in you to say smack dab in the middle of, but I got a little in me. So it's God right smack dab, right full on, right up in the middle of your life, doing miracles every day, and we could at least have the reverence to be amazed. Amen? I am amazed that I have friends. Look at me, I want to tell you something. There was a time when I was homeless. Me. I was pregnant with my first child. My husband had left me, was living with another woman. I couldn't go back home because my father was a sexual abuser. I didn't have any friends. Do you understand that? No friends. My hairdresser said, you can come and live with me and my mother till the baby's born, because I had to quit work at 9 months. I didn't have him for another 4 weeks. That's the oldest one sitting right over there. Was sick when I got done having the baby, didn't take care of myself. I gained ½ a pound the whole time I was pregnant. Everything had been depleted out of my body. I had 9 cavities in my mouth after I gave birth to the baby. I got boils on my body because I had an infection. And when I came out of the hospital with him, I had no idea where I was going to go. And my first husband had come to see the baby that he kept saying wasn't his while he was living with this other woman. And I would drive by the house where they were living every morning on my way to work. I know what it's like to have pain. I know what it's like to feel like your insides are coming out. I know what it's like to be devastated and feel like your life has been destroyed. But I want to tell you something. I also know what it's like for God to work in your life and for Him to give you double for your trouble. Can you believe that somebody I didn't even hardly know had to take me into their home? I didn't have enough money to even go to the doctor and find out what these boils were on my body. Well, I got some friends now. . How many of you would take me in if I needed a place to go? Amazing! I didn't have a place to live. Me and you, David, I carried you out in your little red suit. I was so scared of him because I hadn't had any kind of training. I tried to give him a bath and I wouldn't even hardly touch him. We didn't have any books. We didn't, I went through a clinic. Didn't have any money to do it right. But now, he's running all over the world doing mission work. And God has used him to start all kinds of stuff all over the globe. We didn't have a great start, but we're having an okay finish. Amen? You say, well, if he's not Dave's natural-born son, why is his name David? Because that's what God put it on my heart to call him, and I didn't even know Dave yet. Amazing! What do you think? I'm telling you what, God is all over you. He's in you. He's around you. He's over you, under you. He's chasing you, following you. Well, I just don't know if I can make it one more day. Oh, Jesus. We should be amazed. Do you know that right now Hebrews 1:3 says that God is upholding, maintaining, guiding, and propelling the universe by his mighty word of power? That means the sun stays there because God tells it to. The moon stays there because God tells it to. The stars aren't going to fall on our head tonight because God is holding them up with his word of power. The ocean doesn't go any further than the grains of sand because God commanded it to stay there. Amazing!